Hello everyone, Shaman here. Today I'm showing you how to upgrade your Cacti instance from the current version you're on to the newest version. Now, upgrading your Cacti instance can be easy or it can be very complex depending on how big your system is and the settings that you have. But we will go through this step by step. So I am updating version 1.2.2 of Cacti to the latest 1.2.4. My system is extremely small. I've just set it up for this demo purpose. I'm pinging out to Google and I have the local machine here. So, a couple of precautionary steps. Step 1, make a directory, just called cacti-back. First thing we're going to do is back up the Cacti database using MySQL dump. Okay, I happen to know that the Cacti database in this instance is called Cacti, and I'm going to do cacti-back.sql. So what I'm asking MySQL dump to do is dump the Cacti database to a file called cacti-back.sql. Since it's a pretty small database, it happens almost instantaneously. Next thing I want to do is copy over from var www html cacti the cacti directory containing all of the files. Stop point 1. If you have a massive system, in the Cacti directory, there is a directory called RRA. This contains your graph files. If you have an extremely large system, it might be an idea to exclude this and back it up to a network share or to something else just because of the size. You don't necessarily want to back it up onto the same machine. Okay, now that we've done that backup, let's begin the actual upgrade. Now I've already downloaded the Cacti code for 1.2.4. All I will do is unzip it. Now I will move cacti-release to Cacti. So I have a new folder with the new Cacti code. Okay, now in var HTML, I will rename the folder for Cacti to cacti-old. Next, go to Etsy cron.d, and in my case, in the www-data file, which is because I have www data running the cron job. I've already commented this out, but you should comment this out if you haven't done so. This avoids the polar running and prevents any issues happening in the back end. Now that I've moved over the Cacti files on the web server to cacti-old, I will move the new Cacti files in place. So if I go HTML, I see now Cacti. Let's fix the permissions properly. So that the new Cacti directory is also owned by www-data, like the old one is. Time to move some files around. So first thing we're doing is from the cacti-old directory, in the include subdirectory, there will be a file called config.php. Move that over to include on the new cacti directory. The config.php file includes the database configurations on how Cacti connects to a database. Okay. Next thing we're going to copy from the cacti-old directory is the RRA files. So we'll copy those over to the cacti directory in the RRA subdirectory. Now one more, I have a couple plugins on this system, and it'll be in the cacti-old directory under plugins. So I want to move those over to the new directory. Okay. In this case, because the directories are in subdirectories, because the plugins are in folders of their own, I have to do -r. Okay, now time to verify before we move on. Let's go over to plugins. Okay, so I see plugins here. Let's go to RRA. I should see, yep. And now let's go over to include, and I should see a config.php file, which I do. Okay, so time to fix a couple permissions. So sudo chown-r The reason why I had to do this is because if you noticed up here that the files were owned by root, because I'm the root user right now and I moved those over. You will just fix the permissions, that making sure that they're www data. Okay, now if we surf back to this site, you'll see that the Cacti installation wizard comes up for 1.2.4. The installation script will move this from 1.2.2 to 1.2.4. Next. We'll confirm the upgrade, and there we go. We'll get started, and we see version 1.2.4. Now go back to etc cron.d. Uncomment out the line for the cron job. And there you have it. All of our settings are intact, even our graphs. Let's log out just to be sure that our user credentials are the same, nothing has changed there. And away you go. Now, a couple of caveats I've noticed during Cacti upgrades. If the upgrade fails for some reason, normally something's gone wrong with either the permissions or something's gone on with the database upgrade. To restart this, what I would do and what I've done before is go to MySQL, and this is, of course, if this is a database issue. we will drop the Cacti database. Now, before you execute this, it's actually drop database Cacti. Before you do this, I can't stress it enough, be sure that you have a backup going back to what we first did of your database. So drop database Cacti. Now, you will re-import the database, MySQL. Okay, by first, we'll have to recreate the database. So what we're telling MySQL here is MySQL root on the Cacti database, please import this cacti.sql file. It'll ask for your password, and then it will import the database. Go back to the site, and the installer will start again. Now, as a rollback procedure, say for whatever reason version 1.2.4 is just not working on your system. You don't know what's going on, but you need to restore this as soon as possible. What we'll do is go back to var HTML. Cacti, the cacti-old file, we move the new cacti file to old-1 or whatever you want to name it. And then move cacti-old to cacti. Now, the database has been upgraded from 1.2.2, how we began, to 1.2.4. It will complain a bit because now you see that the installer has come back as 1.2.2. It will need to perform a downgrade. See, it will say it appears that you want to downgrade. Now, this does come at a risk because as new versions of Cacti come out, new features come, there might be a new table that was there that wasn't there before, new hooks, new all this other stuff. To prevent you from any heartache, you could go through this process and it usually is successful. But if you want to be safe, go back to MySQL. Okay. We'll drop the Cacti database again. Create database Cacti. And then re-import. I guess that, hold on here, go back to where I need to go. Re-import the database. By re-importing database, that database, first of all, was in the 1.2.2 system. So see this installer, it goes right away. There's no upgrade, downgrade. It just back to how it was before. We're on version 1.2.2 and everything appears to be working. from here. And that's it. So, few steps. Number one, ensure that the Polar cron job has been stopped. Be sure to back up your database. Very, very important. Back up the Cacti directory. And then keep that directory until you're absolutely sure that the new version of Cacti is working for you. And that's how you can upgrade or revert an upgrade of Cacti. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And feel free to reach out to me at Sean@SeanMancini.com with any Cacti questions. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks.